In this video, I'm going to do a review of how to solve systems of equations with matrices. I will solve it by hand, and then I will show you in Desmos how to plug it in. So hopefully this will be a good review. The first thing we need to do is we need to label all of our pieces, okay? So I put this is in your notes for reference. If you go back into Canvas, it will be there. You have your completed notes in there that we did together as a class. We have our A's, our B's, and our C's. Notice that they line up. So we have A, B, and C. So I'm just going to label those at the top to help us a little bit. A, B, C. Okay. And then I have to be able to set up my matrices. So we have an X and a Y. So I'm going to set up my X matrix here and my Y matrix over here. Okay. Our denominator is going to be the same for both of these matrices. Okay. So notice in our denominator in the bottom of our fractions, we have matrices that have our A columns and our B columns. So if we just go ahead and put matrix symbols around here, I have my A's and my B's, and all I have to do is bring all four of those numbers down with their signs. So I have an 8 with a 2, a 5 with a -4, and it's going to be the same for solving for my Y value. So I have 8 and 2, 5 and -4. From here, I have to be able to set up my numerators. Okay, for my X values, I will be using, I'm going to use purple for that. We need our C values and our B values. So my C values are right here, and those are going to come first in my matrix. So I have 2 with a -10. And then I'm going to put my B values in. You have to make sure that you take the sign that's in front. So I have a +5 and a -4. Okay. Notice that this whole column on my X values, they have to match. So I have a 5, -4, 5, -4. Then I'm going to come over and I need to do my Y values on the top. And that's going to get my A column. So my A column is right here. So I'm going to put in my 8 and a 2. With a 2 and a 10, 2 and a -10, because I need my C values. So I have 2 and -10 here. If you are solving this by hand, what you're going to do next is cross multiply. You're going to cross multiply. So in each, the numerator and the denominator, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 times a -4. So X equals 2 times -4. And we need to subtract -10 times 5. Okay. All over, we're going to do the same thing in the denominator. 8 times a -4 minus 2 times 5. Okay. And then I can go over to Desmos so that I don't make any mistakes. We're going to use the regular Desmos for this one. And you can plug all those numbers in. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 times a -4 minus -10 times 5. Okay, and I'm going to put that top number in parentheses because I want to make sure that I'm dividing the whole thing by the denominator, which is 8 times -4 minus 2 times 5. And again, we need parentheses on there. Minus 2 times 5. Okay. Okay. So that gets us a value of -1. So that means that my X value is equal to a -1. And I'm going to follow the same procedure for my Y values. So I'm going to do 8 times -10, starting in the top left, going to the bottom right. So I'm going to have Y is equal to 8 times a -10 minus 2 times 2. And my denominator should be the same operations down here. So I'm going to have 8 times a -4 minus 2 times 5. And the only thing I need to change when I go to plug this into Desmos is the numerator. So I'm going to have 8 times a negative 10 minus, and then I'm going to put in 2 times 2. And that gets me y is equal to a 2. So my answer is going to be a coordinate pair. My x value is -1, and my y value is a 2. So that's how I solve it by hand, okay? If I want to solve it using Desmos, we're going to go to desmos.com/matrix, and you're going to type in new matrix. And I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit so you can see that this is matrix A, okay? Your A matrix is going to be your numerator for your y value, or for your x value, I'm sorry. Your B matrix is the numerator for your y value, and then your C matrix is your denominator for both. So I'm just going to plug all of these in. So I clicked new matrix, and I'm going to type in all my A values. So that's 2, -10, 5, -4. I have 2, -10, and then I have 5, -4. Then I'm going to click new matrix, and I'm going to plug everything I need in for my B. So my B matrix is 8, 2, 2, -10. And then I'm going to click new matrix, and I have C. And that's going to be my denominator. I have 8, 2, 5, -4. Again, same thing. On this side, 8, 2, 5, -4. And then I'm going to hit enter because I want to be able to solve for x. So solving for x, I'm going to type in the DET. And then in parentheses, I'm going to put A over DET of C, and that's going to get me my x value, and I wish you could see this on my screen, but it is equal to -1, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, actually, you can see it if I go a little bit smaller. Oops. Okay, so we'll just do it like this. So you end up with x is equal to -1, and if I press enter again, I'm going to type in the same thing, DET of B, though, this time, because I'm trying to find my y value, divided by DET of C. Okay, and that gets you -1, +2, which is the same thing we found right here when we solved it by hand. I hope that this was a good refresher that you can watch over and over when you're struggling to figure out what you need to plug in for your matrices. I hope you have a great day.